Hello everyone and welcome to the monthly update of Elysian Eclipse. I am currently playing on version 0.1.4. Now there was no version released in July, reason being that Whirlpools wanted to delay it in favour of polishing and fix up a couple of things, which I think is a fantastic sign because I would rather wait for, you know, a good polished product than a rushed half-assed one. So Whirlpools, thank you personally for that one. Welcome to the BLORB zone. You're probably wondering what the heck is this? This is the earliest demo of a sort of creature stage. The purpose of this is to, as you can imagine, test out animations, test out physics, rigging, environmental assets and interactions and all sorts. Currently you can only play as the BLORB, but the BLORB has some cute little animations and sound effects. Can you really blame him? Nah, but in all seriousness though, eventually in the future you will be able to load in your own creatures into this as well, and eventually it will be expanded into a larger sandbox with procedural maps and sections. So yes, a bit of randomness which is to be expected in the creature stage. But of course, you've got to start somewhere. Starting from the foundations is not rushing it, and that is really, really good. So, the longer I hold my spacebar, the higher I jump as well, which is always lovely. I can jump into a tree and climb it. Which is always nice and is a nice addition compared to Spore. I'm not going to show everything because of course this is available to all Patreons, so you know, go pledge if you want to check this out. It is again very early stages and there's a lot more in this video that I want to share with you, so I'm going to leave the rest of the exploration to you. It's a fun little area and I really would recommend it, and it's just very exciting to see the earliest doors of what we can expect. However, there is one bit of feedback I will give in this video regarding the BLORB zone, since I imagine it was is probably already aware of the majority of things to kind of, you know, add finesse and work on from. But the only thing I'm currently not liking about this is that when you stop moving, there is momentum. And I'm just not a big fan of that. I think it's all, you can see I nearly fell off there, and that's not because I'm not paying attention. It's actually because there's momentum in the movement. The longer you move on for, the kind of longer you drift, and I'm really not a big fan of that. I think it's going to be very, very clunky, especially if platforming's a potential thing in the future. That kind of momentum is just going to get frustrating. But I really like the look of everything so far, and I really look forward to seeing how he plans to innovate from this. Now, the BLORB zone was not the only new thing in this version. We also have an addition of 10 new cell parts, and as you can see, a very rich and varied library of parts right here, only for the cell editor, as well as a couple of extra quality of lives. Now, in total, compared to the grand total of 9, or I guess 12 if you count the eyes, parts in Spore Cell Editor, we have 35 parts here, and that is not going to be the limit. If Whirlpools has new ideas, he's already said that he plans to add more as time goes on, but this is a more than sufficient amount, enough for now, which I completely agree with. So first of all, now an important change that I imagine a lot of you are going to really enjoy is that, say that you've made a whole bunch of like configurations to one of these parts here. Let's give it like a bit of a pattern as well. If you hold control, it duplicates, and it duplicates with everything on it, all the properties as well, including the properties of the parts attached to it too. So it's really, really lovely. And also, as you're holding control and you use the mouse wheel, you scroll. So you're no longer having to meticulously duplicate all your parts manually. You're no longer having to use the sliders for absolutely everything. Now some things can just simply be done with the control key. Very vital quality of life. In addition to that, so you can see we've got this little ring down here. We can now adjust the metallic and smoothness. So currently it is set to, well, near enough default for both. And that gives like a very kind of flat color. If I increase the smoothness, it now emulates more that of the cell membrane, as you can kind of see here in some places. Make that a little bit bigger. There we go. So you can see it's like a lot more shiny now. But if I increase metallic, ooh, now it's all metallic-y, which I've ever make it like a bit of a grey, looks a bit more like a silver, or perhaps we can have some golden parts as well. Again, overall, just new options and nice new quality of lives. But in terms of the parts, there's a lot to go through, so I'm not going to linger on this for too long, as I have more to show as well. So first of all, Whirlpools introduced 3 new utility organs. Last time we saw the vacuole and the mitochondrion parts. Now we have the ribosome, which restores protein when eating food. We have the cell wall, which increases the overall maximum HP of your cell. Go ahead and make that a bit bigger as well so you can see it a bit clearer, like that. And we have the Toxicist, a defensive structure used to damage attackers on contact. And we have a whole bunch of others. So we have the Early Jaw, which can also be used as a crab claw. This is for grabbing and crushing prey. Go ahead and just put that underneath Wooblaw's eyes. Oh, this is a bit of a weird bug I've been encountering actually since I got it on camera. Oh, it's gone now. You saw how it just kind of cut off there? Not sure what to say about that. I mean, touching it fixed it, but maybe just something for Warsman to see then. If we rewind a little bit, that just randomly got completely chopped in half. Moving on, we've got the filter as well. So the filter funnels nutrients into the body and ejects waste, which I gotta say, it looks really cute actually. I'm a big fan of the design of that part. And we also have the leecher, which is a pointed proboscis used to draw blood from other cells. I do find that a little bit amusing because I don't imagine a cell having blood cells. I mean, I don't know, it's just my thought, but I do much prefer the more cartoonish, light-hearted, down-to-earth version than, you know, another really scientific simulator. So I do like the concept nonetheless. It gave me a little bit of a giggle, but I'd much prefer fun over accuracy. Now, if you come down to the combat portion, we have the Hive releases antibodies to aid in combat. The idea of this is it's going to release little ants that will attack other cells for you. We have the Electricide, which increases an electric field to shock nearby cells, probably just like the one in Spore cell stage. We have the Intoxicator, which releases a poisonous gas cloud, again just like the one in the cell stage, though it looks physically much better. And we have the Hook, which rips into the flesh of foes and leaves a bleeding wound, dealing damage over time. Now just look at BLORB now, doesn't that look like a really crazy looking cell? And that's not even every part, that is only the new parts. We've still got the original Spike from combat, we got the vacuole and the mitochondrion from the earlier utility organs, we've got all the different kinds of eyes, we've got the first two mouths, the pseudopod and the spitter. Not to mention, aquatic locomotion, we've got all 5 of these options down here, all the body structures, all the decoration. God, this is a cell. Imagine the rest of the game. I'm genuinely like really excited, and again, I've said it before, I've seen so many, you know, quote unquote Spore clones. I'm really excited about this one. So unfortunately, that is all I can show you that has been added to the Patreon demo release, though as always, I would definitely recommend getting your hands on it and experiencing all this for yourself. The more feedback, the better. And by the way, all those abilities and parts are available in the creature editor as well. Now, there is more to show in general. So first of all, in the BLORB zone, there was of course a complete lack of any, well, limbs, and that is being addressed. This is the very first leg test that Warsman is working on now. You can find this video on his own YouTube page, which I will link down below as well. And as you can see, it is very rudimentary right now. It is the absolute basics, but it is being addressed. That again is always the most important part. So hopefully a nice big soon TM on that one. Warsman has also been working on the cell stage itself, so here we get to see all 4 of the various different types of nutrients that you can encounter in the cell stage. I'm not familiar with what everything does, unfortunately, so for now we just get to enjoy this picture, but again it's like a nice little taste of what's to come. The nutrients will be there to grant stats and probably DNA, as well as healing and other various, I think fueling for abilities as well. That's what I gathered from some of the tooltips earlier. There's also the addition of Whirlpools, which will allow you to travel in between different zones. Definitely inspired by Sipho, which I did cover quite a while ago, and I think this would be a much more elegant solution as opposed to Spore Cell stage where you just kind of grow gargantuanly every now and then. This one you kind of travel, and it probably has a cutscene, or I don't know just yet, but I feel like this one here is going to be a much more natural process going through the stage. And for a little bit of fun, this will not be seen in the game, but just for a little bonus extra, this is what the cell stage looks in 3D, and it is indeed rather trippy. And now some final new additions to be coming soon-ish. You can see all of these on Warsman's devlog, which again I will be linking in the video description down below as well. We can expect to see things such as exporting creatures to make them 3D printable, which is I feel like that speaks out to me just a little bit there. Further editor improvements, such as displays for stats and handles that allow you to rotate your parts more easily, and creating a building grid prototype for the medieval stage. The building grid will let you place pre-made buildings and spawn units on a flat map. This will be one of the main mechanics for medieval and industrial, but will also appear early in the game, for example, when you're building your nest. So he's making entire systems not just for 1 or 2 stages, but to recycle and to use for any other aspect you can think of in other stages as well, such as building a nest, which is very exciting. And I think it's a very efficient use of, you know, what he's doing, of his resources and his time, which once again just gives me all the more hope. So that is everything to show you for now then. There's also a roadmap, which again, I'll be linking down below. Like, come on guys, just either pledge to the guys so you can access it all yourself, and really enjoy it as well, or just follow all the various links I'm putting in the video description, all for your leisure and information. That way you can see the roadmap of what is to come. And that'll do it for now. So as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope that you're enjoying this and you are as excited as I am. I'm really not normally excited for these kind of Spore clones, but this one really has got me gripped. So yes, I'm excited, and as always, I will see you all next time. Take care and have a wonderful day. Cheers.